For this recipe, you can either make your pizza dough or you can buy it pre-made. It doesn't really matter. But if you are making your pizza dough, I'm going to have a recipe right here, right now for you. For the pizza dough, you will need some oil, some traditional yeast, some water, salt, and flour. Start by adding, if you are doing a single pizza, you're going to do 2 cups to about 2 1/4 cups. I would start off with 2 and then work your way up. But I am doubling this recipe, so I am actually going to do 4 cups of flour. And then if you're doing a single recipe, you're doing 3/4 of water. But if you're doubling, you're doing 1.5 cups water, some salt. And if you're doing the salt, you can also do half a teaspoon if you're doing a single recipe. If you're doing the single recipe, you're going to need 2 1/4 teaspoons traditional yeast. But I am going to need more like 1.5 tablespoons because I am doubling. Just a good splash of oil, about 2 tablespoons or 4 if you're doubling. And then we are going to get mixing this. Out of sight, out of mind. So you also need about 1 tablespoon of sugar or 2 if you are doubling. So just mix until it all combines enough. And you might have to start working it in with your hand. We'll see how my dough does, if it needs any more flour or water, of course. And we'll go from there. Looks like mine is looking good. So I should be in the clear to hand mix this. And because I am making this recipe later in the month, I am going to freeze it in 2 separate bags. And then we'll reconvene once I start the process of making our hot honey pizza. Hey guys, so I thought about it and I decided I would do some takeout recipes for anyone who loves a decent takeout but can't afford it. So in this episode, I am doing an affordable pizza done at home and way more cheap than going to the grocery store or even ordering from a restaurant. So if that sounds good to you, stay tuned. Welcome to my kitchen and let's see what I am cooking. You will need store-bought or homemade pizza dough. This is optional, but you can do some sriracha and honey mixed together. I'll show you in a second what I'll make with it. Pepperoni, pizza sauce, which we are going to jazz up, either fresh garlic or garlic powder, Italian seasoning or oregano, salt and pepper, some cheese. If you're not a huge pepperoni fan or want to keep this vegetarian, you can do all vegetables and no meat, or you can do something like chicken or beef or whatever you prefer on your pizza. You can also have fun with the spices, but I am just keeping it simple for the sake of this episode, but I might also add in some mushrooms. So let's get started, shall we? So to begin, I am simply just going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I am going to take my pizza dough and plop it right down in the middle of my pan. And I am just going to start spreading this out. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing with homemade. Rustic is easily acceptable. And if you don't want to spend forever molding your pizza dough, then you can just quickly do it up. And now for the pizza sauce, we're just gonna place our pizza sauce from the store into a bowl, and then we're gonna jazz it up with some garlic powder. I like using quite a bit, about a teaspoon of that, and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and a bit of extra salt and pepper, and maybe some honey or sugar. In my case, I'm going to be using honey. Just like so. Woo! And if you want to do a hot honey type thing, just add in about half a teaspoon of sriracha. Mix that up and we'll put it on our pizza. Just start with a little bit and then move on from there depending on how saucy you like it. If you like it extra saucy, you can also do a bit extra, or you can even do a dipping sauce by cooking your sauce here on the stovetop for a few minutes. And then you can have marinara or hot honey style dipping sauce. And if you don't like a dry crust, all you need to do is make sure that you cover your crust. I cover it just so it gets a little bit of flavor, just because that's what I like. And now I decided to use some mushrooms. So this is the point where you'll add any veg, and you want to chop your veg or pineapple up into smaller bits just so that it cooks a bit quicker and isn't raw when it comes out of the oven. Just do the best you can. And then just put it on. And same goes for the meat. Whatever you happen to like and however much you happen to like, you can just layer it accordingly. I really like pepperoni on mine, especially when it's homemade. So I'm gonna do that, but you can also be creative and do other types of things. Also, I'm not sure, nothing comes to mind at the moment, but you can just get creative, maybe a curry chicken or maybe even a Thai style pizza. Literally, you can do anything with pizza. So if you are vegan, obviously this is the point where you would use vegan cheese, but I'm just using normal because I am not vegan, and I'm going to do extra cheese because that's what I like. If you want a bit of extra herbs on top, like the Italian seasoning, oregano, whatever you're using, you can also put some extra on top. And now that our oven is preheated, I am simply just going to put this in. And I am going to bake mine anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. You want it to get nice and crispy, so you want to base it off how browned your pizza is. Your pizza crust, that is. And that looks super good. I have let this cool for a few minutes, just so it's easier to cut. And I am simply going to slice it into any amount of slices I want to do, which will be 8 in this situation. It's nice and golden. So I'm going to let this cool for about 5 minutes, and then I'll give it a taste test and let you know how it is. So now that it's cooled down a bit, I am just going to give it a little taste and see how it is. So I get a little bit of spice from the sriracha, but not a lot, which is good because it kind of balances everything out, along with the honey, which gives it a nice little sweetness. If you want a bit more sweetness, you can always do a small drizzle of honey over top using a fork. I'm sure that'll bring it over the top. And it is so cheesy, you can taste the pepperoni, which has that nice spicy flavor, that you always want in a pepperoni pizza, and I couldn't be more happy with it. So thank you for joining me here today. If you did like this episode, please hit like, subscribe, comment, and share. It helps my channel go so far, and I really appreciate those that do. And until next time, a banana. Don't look at my pizza.